Hey, what's up guys? It's Jesse. I'm back with another really cool install video on my 3rd gen Tacoma. Today, I'm going to be installing an Expedition Essential USB powered accessory mount. The one that I'll be installing is a 3T PAM. That stands for 3rd gen Tacoma Powered Accessory Mount. I bought my powered accessory mount from the Expedition Essential website. I'll link that below. But now, I'll show you what comes inside the box. This here is a powered accessory mount. I'll show you where that goes in just a little bit. This is the box for all the hardware. This on top is the tap, which will power the accessory mount. I'm going to get power from the cigarette lighter in the dash. This here on bottom is all the nuts, screws, and bolts that you need to mount this to your dash. Here's the 2 mounting brackets. I'll show you where they go in just a little bit. These are some extra mounting pieces. I'll see if I need them. Now I'm going to start the install. First, you want to pull this bezel off. Just give it a nice tug. Just like that, it pops right off. Here, there's 4 bolts that hold in the screen. That's a 10mm socket. I'm going to use an extension to get those out with my ratchet. Now that I got everything unboxed, it's time to start this install. But first, let me show you what you need. You're going to need a ratchet with a 10mm socket. You're going to need an extension. You're going to need a scoring or marking, poking device. You're also going to need a file. I have a few options, not sure which one I'll use yet. You're going to need a 9mm wrench. You'll need a Phillips that's able to go through these holes here. You'll also need a 1/4" drill bit. You'll need the drill bit to drill through right here. You'll have to make a few holes. Here's the extra mounting brackets that I don't think I'll use. Here's the 2 taps for the power, wiring harness, and these are the 2 brackets that I think you need to use for the Tacoma. Here's the hardware. Here I have some alligator clips. Thank you very much, Max Powell, for your awesome videos. I really appreciate it. Here's some pretty detailed instructions. Thank you very much to Expedition Essential. Instructions for the tap. And you might need some tape, but I probably won't because I got 3 of these. You see this groove here? This is gonna sit on that groove. Now take your clip, clip it, 1. I think 2 is enough. 2 times, just like that. Now that I got the base in place, it's time to mark your holes. I'm going to use a scoring tool to mark them. When you mark the first and last, be sure to mark an X or a T in the center. Here you can see the marks on my holes. The 5th and the 1st hole, I tried my best to mark a T down the center this way and the center this way. Now I'm taking the base off the bezel and drilling the holes. Be sure to get it right on your marks. There you can see my holes. Next, I'm going to use a 10mm socket with an extension on my ratchet to take out the 4 screws that hold in your screen. Now, carefully pull out the screen and let it sit right there. Next, I need to route the wiring harness through the dash down to the cigarette lighter. In order to do this, I need to take this dash cover off. But first, I have to take out one screw right there, and it's going to be with a 10mm. To remove this, just pull. Don't be afraid to break it. It will pop out. I think that's enough right there. That's where you want to pull from. Leave everything plugged in, don't unplug anything. Next, I'm going to remove the existing wiring for the cigarette lighter. Carefully stick your hand in there and you'll feel a plug-in deal. Just pull that right out. There it is. That's how it plugs in and unplugs, with the two plugs going perpendicular from each other. The one on top with the one to the left of it plugging in this way. I'm going to run the wires behind the screen for the wiring harness. Gently set it down on the gear shift. Now, reach your arm back here. Leave just a little bit of the wires hanging out at the top. Now that you ran your wires and they're sticking out right here, you can reinstall the bottom two screws of the screen. Now I'm going to install the left and the right T-PAM support brackets. These get mounted in with the factory bolts, the top two bolts for the screen. Take note that the left one is shorter than the right one. Always start the bolt by hand. Be sure that the wiring harness is on the left side of the screen. Check out the left bracket and the right bracket. These are the two support brackets for the dash accessory mount. Next, put the base plate back on and you're going to mark this notch here. This is for the wire. Now I'll use the file to file this notch out. Check it out. Next, you'll take some provided hardware from Expedition Essential. There's 2 screws with 2 washers and 2 nuts. There you can see the 2 nuts, 1, 2, and the 2 screws. If you count from left to right, it's the 2nd and 4th hole. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next, take the Phillips screwdriver and 9mm wrench and tighten the screw and lock nut. There you see the 2 screws tight and the 2 nuts. Now you can snap this back in place. Be sure your wires come out of the little notch you made. And just push. My wires are still able to move and wiggle a little bit. Now it's time to check the holes that I drilled to see if they line up to the mounting brackets. Both sides, the screw went in pretty easily. If it doesn't, you can adjust the bracket, or you may have to adjust your holes you drilled. Now remove the screws. Now that I'm satisfied with my 2 holes here that line up to the mounting brackets, I'm gonna go ahead and remove the radial bezel one more time. Next, install this middle bracket on the 3rd hole, 1, 2, 3, from left, with 1 screw and a washer with a locking nut on the bottom. Be sure that the middle bracket's facing the passenger side. Now that the middle bracket's installed, I can fully snap in my radial bezel. Be sure the wires go through the little notch you made. And then just push to snap it in. Be sure you don't pinch your wire. You want it to be able to wiggle just a little bit. Next, I'll install the left support bracket. This goes through the 1st hole and goes to the mounting bracket. This is the driver's side or left support bracket. This gets screwed in with just 1 screw and 1 washer. This connects to the mounting bracket that you screwed in with the factory bolts right here. Next, I'll do the right support bracket. There's the right support bracket. This again is the middle support bracket. And this here's the left support bracket. Now I'll plug in my wiring harness and screw the main piece to the mounting brackets. I got my T-pan installed. Alright guys, we're almost done. Last thing we need to do is the tap for the wiring. This is going to be kind of hard to show you, but I'll do my best. I'm going to stick that through like that, and then screw this other piece on. Tighten it like that. Now I'll do the same thing for the white wire. I did it. There you go. Just like that. Again, spin this on. There we go. Next, strip the 2 wires from the wiring harness just a little bit. Now that I stripped the wires, I'm gonna slide this piece on, slide the other piece through like this, and you're gonna twist it on these. Make sure the red one goes to the pink wire or purple wire, and the black one goes to the white wire. Once you push it in, give it a good twist. Check it out, guys. There they are. This allows you to tap into your cigarette lighter and get power for your T-pan. Purple to red, white to black. Now that I got the wire tapped, I'm gonna plug it back into the cigarette lighter, and then I'll test to make sure it works. This is probably the hardest part, to plug this plug-in back in, but that's how it's gotta go. Just like that. Alright, I think I got it plugged in all the way. Now it's time to test to make sure that it works. Check it out, charging. Now that everything works, I'm gonna put it back together. So I had to take it apart one last time so I could put this piece back on. Let's check to make sure that it works one more time. That completes the install of my Expedition Essential 3 T-pan. That's a 3rd gen Tacoma powered accessory mount. I'm super stoked. Next, I'm gonna put a cell phone mount and a camera mount on this. Thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.